So, you want to build an aesthetic physique fast. Well, these are the four muscle groups you need to be training in order to make sure you have an aesthetic physique in no time flat. In this video, I'm going to be explaining what these muscles are, why we train them, and how I personally train them to have achieved my physique that I've been working on for the last 2.5 years. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. We're going to start off with the first muscle group, chest. Now, your chest may not be the first thing people notice when they look at you, but it is definitely a key factor in building any aesthetic physique. There are three parts of your chest: your upper chest, your mid chest, and your lower chest. The most aesthetic and the best way to make your chest look bigger faster is to prioritize your upper chest by doing things such as incline movements and making sure to get a deep stretch and contraction on all your chest movements. Now, the three exercises that I do for chest are incline Smith for my upper chest, pec deck to work my entire chest, but mostly my mid chest, and between cable flies and weighted dips to work on my lower chest. That last exercise also helped increase my bench. It was one things I tried to switch up and learn how to do, which ended up helping me bench 225 for the first time. So, I mean, all of that worked out. But these three aspects, or these three exercises more like, have helped me grow my chest from being completely flat, unnoticeable, or my clothes kind of just went straight down, having no kind of definition from the side, to having the chest I do today. And now, by no means is my chest the biggest chest in the history of the universe, but I feel like it's definitely made a lot of progress. So if anyone is new to the gym, anyone wants to try out these exercises, you should definitely go ahead. The next exercise number 2, or movement number 2, is going to be your shoulders. Now, these, in my opinion, are probably up there when it comes to the most important muscle to train to look bigger instantly, because having wide shoulders, really defined shoulders, really brings out your frame and can help with your silhouette, your V-taper. If your shoulders are wide, if your waist is small, you're going to be looking clavicular. You know what I mean? So, how do we train our shoulders in a way that helps us go from looking like a rectangle to looking like a Dorito? The key trick, you've probably heard this before, is to spam lateral raises. I've been doing dumbbell lateral raises for the last 2.5 years. I haven't stopped, and I won't stop anytime soon. There are people who prefer cable lateral raises. Now, personally, I haven't really figured out, like, maybe not figured out, I don't really personally prefer cable raises, just because I don't feel like I'm working my shoulders as hard. I don't know if that even makes sense. Um, but I know the stretch is good. They're definitely an S tier shoulder exercise if you prefer those as well. But for me, I do um, dumbbell lateral raises. And then normally on my last 2 sets, I perform a drop set just to kind of pump my shoulders out. Um, I feel like shoulders are really important. They're so crucial to kind of making yourself look bigger, even in baggier clothes. Like, you can kind of tell by my shoulders, oh, this guy isn't just a regular civilian. You know what I mean? But they also help bring out your arms. So you see how this big bump, the shadow being created, is due to my shoulder having a lot of definition. Well, obviously, my other muscle groups can be big, can be worked, but because of this developed shoulder, it makes my entire muscle look like it takes a lot more shape. Which is why I personally would think that shoulders are probably, if not like undeniably, the most crucial exercise to train to get an aesthetic physique fast. You can also perform, so I do dumbbell lateral raises, but you can also do machine shoulder press. for your front and your side delts, as well as rear delt flies to work on your rear delts, which are also absolutely crucial to making sure your physique looks good from both the front and the back. Moving on. The next exercise I want us to talk about is definitely, well, the next muscle I want us to talk about is definitely going to be your back. Not your abs, but your back. Personally, my back is probably the muscle that has grown the most out of my entire physique. It's not even one that I think I'm like specifically genetically gifted in. I have really high lat insertions, so I'm not really able to get that big Dorito kind of V physique. But even with a Y taper, having a developed back completely changes the shape of your body from being flat to more aesthetic, more angular. Having a wide back makes your waist look smaller by comparison. So you don't even really need to have a small waist to look aesthetic. You're not cooked after all. You know what I mean? But training your lats specifically, these are what are going to give you, these are what, hold on, let's run that back. Training your lats specifically is what's going to bring out this shape and give you that Y taper or V taper that you're searching for. Now, how do I train my lats? The exercises I do on a back day are going to be the lat pull down machine, which I know a lot of people struggle to actually feel the mind muscle connection or actually feel in your lats, which I think I'm going to make a different video on. But I also do weighted pull-ups on days that I don't feel like doing the lat pull downs, just to make sure I have control over my body weight, control over, how I move my body as I gain weight, as I progress throughout my gym journey, because I don't want to end up super stiff, super gross, super, immobile. I still want to move, I still want to exist. But lat pull downs, a seated cable row, mint, absolutely juicy to grow your lats and build an amazing physique. You cannot achieve, or you cannot get great lats without doing some sort of out to inward movement, some sort of row, whether that's unilateral, whether that's seated cable, whether it's dumbbell even. You need to make sure that you're rowing to grow your lats. Now, the last movement I do on a back day is going to be the T-bar. T-bizzle, my favorite back workout ever in the history of the universe. This has helped develop my upper back in ways I didn't even know an upper back could be developed. It also helps train your rear delts, so if you don't feel like isolating those, you train your T-bar enough, you can just skip it. Really and truly. But it's helped me grow my traps without having to perform shrugs. It's helped me completely develop the way my mid and upper back look. Now, it is a bit of an awkward exercise for a lot of people, and it is a bit difficult to kind of get the positioning, the setup right. But once you've got that down, absolutely go to exercise. And that's probably what's helped me with my back development the most over the last 2 years. Even though I only started doing the exercise maybe in the last year, it's helped me change my back so much. Anyways, enough glazing the T-bar. Let's move on to the last muscle. Last but not least, the last muscle you probably need to be considering to look bigger instantly is your triceps. Yeah, I know. Most people were gonna think abs, but no. I feel like in my opinion, having bigger triceps will help you look way larger, way faster than somebody who has abs but small arms. Now, the reason I'd say triceps over biceps is simply because your tricep makes up a much larger portion of your arm. And I'll give you an example. You see, my bicep starts and ends around here when I flex my arm. But this whole area down here that makes up the brunt of the bulk of my arm is the tricep. And without having developed triceps, your arms are going to look small, even if you have big biceps. There are many people you probably know who are very skinny, very small, but have decent biceps, have good peaks in their biceps. But having developed triceps makes your arm fill out a lot faster. It fills up in clothes. It looks good. It connects with your shoulders so seamlessly. If you're, thinking about getting lean, it makes you look absolutely crazy, absolutely phenomenal. So, if you want to look big fast, definitely think about training your triceps. Now, the tricep routine I do consists of 3 workouts, which are an overhead press, a push down, and I do a unilateral extension just to finish my triceps in general. So I do rope overheads. Honestly, a muscle I wish I started training sooner was probably the long head. I do rope overheads for my long head of the tricep, which is gonna fill out your tricep from the back all the way down to your elbow, depending on your insertions. But probably the most crucial muscle you need to train for your triceps. Do not sleep on these. These will change how you look crazy quick. Now, I do 3 sets of those for about 8 to 10 reps. And then I move on to tricep pushdowns, which work on the other 2 heads of the tricep. I normally train these till failure, but I try to fail around 10, 12 reps for 3 sets. Then last but not least, I do 2 sets of unilateral cable pushdowns with my elbow pressed against the bar, which I think just helps finish and blow up my triceps even better. And yeah, so to run over, a great upper chest, wide shoulders, great lats to build your taper, and great triceps to fill your arms are what is going to help you build your aesthetic physique the fastest. Now, this may not be everyone's favorite list. Some people may have other exercises, abs, that they might have wanted to put on this list, but this is just my personal opinion. Do with it what you will. And at the end of the day, just, do what makes you happy, work out whichever muscles you want to. This is just, we'll all get there eventually. It's just how we get there that's different. Well, with that, I'm gonna end the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to join the community, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.